even at school he was a very determined fellow. He's not obviously very big size-wise, so in height, but strong body, and he was like that even at school.
He'd been brought up with a bit of a rugby background. He didn't come to Victoria, I think, until he was about 12 or 13, so he played a bit of rugby. They're good sidesteppers, and Ray Hadley would say he stepped off his left foot.
A sort of a smallish, well-built player. He had good pace, and he was very strong at the ball. Like, he broke his jaw, I think in '79, just charging in at a pack, and that was sort of very typical of how he played.
One year, 1976, towards the end of the year, he had a broken wrist that wasn't healing properly, so he cut the plaster off and played the last part of the season and the final series.
The term dashing defender probably applied to a lot of the really flamboyant players that played AFL at the time, but Bourke was different again. He was certainly dashing, but it was more just through strength, the ability to carry the ball and then kick long.
He was an interesting fellow on the field because he had a little bit of attitude, and it was often directed at his teammates rather than the opposition. Could often be constructive, but you wouldn't want to get in Bourke's way. You know, like if you got in his way and he lost run of the ball, he'd give you a bit of a bake. And if he thought you weren't picking up your man, like if I'm on the ball and I probably hadn't followed my bloke down into the back line as well as I should have, you know, he'd scream at you, you know, Bernie, you know, that was your man, sort of thing. You know, he was probably right.
From both ends, he'd give it out, but I often talk to him of recent times, and he talks about the criticism he got from his own players for there was sometimes a bit of an alleging of not manning up as well as other people did, but that was part of the way Bourke played.
He was a big part of the team, partly because of the way he played, how good he was, an A-grade best and fairest winner, and tough. So in a way, there wasn't much you could sort of criticise Brian for, but you could get a bit pissed off with him.
Unfortunately, there was one year when he'd fallen in love and he went away and missed out on a final series, but I think he did annex young Gay at that time, and that's been a pretty good relationship.
I think when we look through his history with D-Lar, with best and fairest, captaining the club, captaining the VAFA, best and fairest in the VAFA and A-grade, and 10 years of, or 11 years of longevity, he really has made a mark on the VAFA.
I congratulate you, and I'm sure everybody at Salle congratulates you. We're very proud of you.
Yeah, congratulations, Bourke, on becoming a champion at the VAFA. It is thoroughly well deserved. It's been a great history with our D-Lar in particular and the VAFA. Well done.
So congratulations, Brian. There's no more deserving player at D-Lar Salle than I can think of to become a Big V champion. You played with great courage at D-Lar, and as you did when you were in the Big V team, and certainly in those years that you captained them. So congratulations. Bernie Shee taught us all to run hard at the ball, and you really knew no other way. So well done.